Thank you very much for joining me for this session of Dr. Plotzker's Mind. I rarely speak of politics, and while I write of religion a fair amount, I rarely speak religion. These are flashpoints. There are places to have flashpoints, but my periodic sessions try to avoid them. Yet, I find myself a bit drawn in to the political discussion, and not in the most cordial way. There is very little ambiguity about what I stand for. I am for equal opportunity. I am opposed to favoritism. Uh, the congresswoman from my old home in St. Louis, which wasn't my district when I lived there, it was adjacent to my district, but the district now encompasses the whole city. She lost. She deserved to lose. There is no question about where I fall on Israel as the sovereign state of the Jewish people. My solution, if I were put in a cubicle with a yellow pad, would probably not be very popular, but it would be effective. I don't think anyone should live in squalor, and I don't think that anyone should live in fear of terrorism. Taxes should be fair. Judges should rule in the fair manner that Torah demands. See, I could sneak in a little religion too. One of my TV people who I admire, the Reverend Dr. Russell Long, made a statement to somebody about voting. You can vote for the person whose policies most match yours, or you can vote for the person that you would hire to operate that office in a responsible way. For me right now, that is a no-brainer, at least as the presidents go. I'm not at all sure as the local candidates go. Eventually, the voters will decide these things. But policy is pretty clear. River to the sea guys with their fists in the arms, they can just be dispatched. I think that's been roughly the American policy since about the days of Harry Truman, who was the president on the day I was born. So anyone who ends that flashpoint quickly gets some interest from me. I think that I oppose discrimination based on pretty much anything. You earn your way. whether to give somebody a handicap like you would in golf or you would in bowling is a little more nuanced. I have some bowling trophies in my personal space that I would not have won had um, I not been offered extra points based on my skill. The handicaps in sports really support the people who improve over the time in which they were granted the handicap, and that was the case with me in the bowling league. I'm not sure it is the case with some of our preference policies. Eventually, uh, people are going to vote. The primaries in my state are about a month from now. The national election, a little more than that. Things seem to be gelling. I agree with the majority that Joe, as fond as I am of him, and as cordial as he was in the many times we met, is not the person I would hire for this office. His backup is. His opposition is not. So my vote is pretty easy. I'll have to look a little bit more down ballot and see who prevails in the primaries. Thanks so much for joining me for this session of Dr. Plotzker's Mind.